am creation's shadow. You cannot destroy me. That would destroy the world.
Hi, welcome to Mimi's Place. And today we're going to talk about death. There's the law of death where you die to, your desires to the outside world, and then you receive everything in this world, in this realm. But the whole idea is to be happy, okay? And as long as you're happy, everything's great, and all your heart's desires, the things you really want, come to you, and more than you can imagine. But the battle here is um, between the consciousness in our heads that we were given so that we could have free will, and uh, the consciousness in our hearts, which is the one that rules everything, and it presents everything. So the two have to agree, the one in your head and the one in the heart, and then it presents itself. And there's many layers to this stuff. Imagination is tied to you. It's just a part of your being. You'd be dead if you weren't imagining. Just be a body here. And that's what we're going to talk about. Your body literally is a vessel, so that when people do pass, and it's how they're passing often that is disturbing. Most people don't mind it. You passed in your sleep, okay? They lived a good life, and they start dealing with the experience of death, okay? But it's when people die from pain and suffering that we want to alleviate that type of pain and suffering that they went through and that we went through, experiencing them going through it. That, that's that good intention rearing its ugly head. And this is where most charities and things like that begin. They all begin good, good intentions. Every group, every NGO, all of them began with a good intention, but because this is uh, split-minded, for lack of a better place, you know, that's what this place is. It's a split-minded place, that's becoming a single-minded place. And we have to choose which one that's going to be. Is it the one in your head, or is it the one in your heart? So you're literally mind melding your mind to God's, so that when you speak, you are the Word of God. It's God speaking through you. You're not speaking. Okay? It's God seeing this. It's God taking this in. You are one with God, but you're the vessel. Okay? That's your role. To keep a clear, clean conduit, and let that light shine through. And imagination is the lamp and the light bulb, okay, that makes the light shine, that slows the electricity down enough to shine, okay. That's the power you have within you, but it's its own consciousness, it's its own being, and you subjugate yours to them. And they subjugated themselves to you. Now you subjugate yourself to them. And now you got that 8 going on. Okay? And it's really great. And when people are dying in your life, you just forgive them for everything if you haven't, and wish them the best on their journey, and ask God to, help them move on and know that they're free and they're blameless and forgiven. And they have their own road to walk, and you love them. You know, you know these laws. So this is what's necessary and important. If you've already forgiven them, then it's, I know they're going to have a great life, and it's just going to be the best life ever, no matter where they go, no matter where they end up, they'll be in the best place to finish this journey, and you wish them the best. That's it. That they may have some love and peace in the life they're stepping into. That oftentimes they haven't been imagining a new young body. And so everybody gets pulled together in the news of, they're dying because they need somebody to do that for them. Or they'll be stuck until somebody does remember them, and so this is the importance of memories and telling the stories and remember the good and put away the bad and laugh at it and point out how they were adversaries, not enemies. And, once one pushed back on the other, everybody respected and admired each other and moved on. They weren't going to change what they believed. They were free to believe that. And everything all works out for the best. When my mother was dying, it was a really rough time for me, and I had just found Neville Goddard maybe 6 months beforehand, and I wanted her to come home to my house and we would take care of her, and that she would be fine, and she could walk just fine and breathe just fine and be just fine. She'd be fine, but I hadn't risen enough up in consciousness to know that the, pneumonia that was attacking her, was God. And so it was just, I kept revising the day, imagining her here in the garden with me. And it didn't happen. And my brothers and sister and other family members, when they would visit her, she would be asleep or she would not be responsive. But when I visited her, she was blinking and squeezing my hand. She could hear me. That's how she was answering me. She had a tracheotomy going on and tubes everywhere. And, I thought then, my grandmother, my father's mother, was dying of, lung cancer. And, it was really emphysema. They'd already cut her lung cancer out. And she had all these tubes and stuff in her. And we were going to go to lunch. And my dad went to kiss her. And she told him, "Honey, this is no way to live. I don't want the kids to see me like this." And he was like, "Okay." So we left. And when we got back, she had pulled all the tubes out and had passed. And in her mind, that was enough of this shit. I'm going out. Bye. They have a God in their heart. That's the only one that knows when time's up. Okay? And if you're done giving your gifts and your messages and faced some of your monsters, you've grown, and it's time to step into a new body. This is death. This is the peeling of the states of consciousness off. You've learned lessons in this life. Now you're going to step into a new body and live a new life with these new lessons learned on your heart, and it's going to continue until it's done, until it's complete, until you bow to the one in our hearts. And that's getting into the zone. That's getting to the groove. That's going to silence. And just, hanging. You're just hanging. It's admiring nature. It's loving on everything and how great that is. How great it all is. And you do see it that way when you see it with love. You tend to laugh off the objective main stuff, and it's a joy to see all these souls, being all righteous, doing their thing, and you just keep reminding them, like thoughts, beliefs get you everything in the outside, stop sticking with the middle. Relax. We're not. There's no trouble. It's all perfect. It's all God. So relax and let God guide you. Through these changes that need to happen, and that's what man's doing. He's just mucking with the middle. And trying to stop death is part of that. And you can't stop death. It's part of life. That's how we shed a skin. And we'll start learning about it. Now we know we can shed states of consciousness. And this is how Neville Goddard got the promise. He could do it so well and so easily. They called him up. It was great, And that's one way of doing it. But the one state you're really supposed to get rid of, and know is your ego, and identify yourself with the aspects of God. I am perfect. God in my heart is perfect. And this is what I mean. I'm the vessel. I'm the perfect vessel for God. He runs through me. He and my lover, the human imagination, Jesus, the one, the force, the creative, intelligent force, is rocking and rolling through me. And it shines. It shines. It just shines, And when someone is passing, they're got to finish their story. Their story began. They have to finish it. Okay, they're a part of it. Everyone is a part of it. And they have to finish. And they have to fight their demons. And they battled some here, and you were part of helping them that way. And you just remember the best parts and forgive the ugly parts. And don't let it shake you. Man has taught himself to, scream and yell and rip the cloth when that is something for, close family. The rest of them are supposed to lift the close family up. I remember when Jim was, this way, and we're all getting drunk, and, there's Jim dancing with us before the night's out. And they'll all say they were drunk. They'll deny it was their imagination. But he was there dancing with the girls, just as sure as can be. There's only one God, and Jim was part of it. And he still is. He's just stepping into a new body with a new ego to finish learning the lessons. It's bigger than you can imagine. So death is part of life. That's how we grow. And that's why we used to rejoice in that and celebrate it, and write stories about it, and put a history up about it. That's why. Because look what we've learned. Look what we did. So we would remember and not have to repeat, and could move forward. But, every time there's a new age, of course, they think their age is the best age. That's ending too. When you realize you've been a carpenter all this time, building, building, building upon the old, taking the old and building upon it. This manifests itself as we'll knock buildings down and then build on top of them. We'll take, stone from meteorites or other things, build buildings out of it. That's what we do. We build. Okay, we build. We tell stories. We knock them down. We build again. Make it even better. Make it even better. Make it even better. Okay, so when someone close to you is passing, wish them the best. I ended up realizing that I had prolonged my mother's misery by revising, and in a moment of silence was told to let go. It's time for her to move on. And so I did, and my sister was there with her, and it was all good. It was fine. You can only wish them, the best, and know that they're loved, and that God loves them, because that's what they're seeking. It's what we're all seeking. That unconditional love of the Maker, the one who made us, our Father. Well, He does. He loves us so much, He subjugated Himself to us, to all of us. So I hope this helps. It's painful, especially if there's things bubbling up that you haven't dealt with. It's a forgive, forgive, forgive. And it's just knowing that it's all good. You can help them move on, shed that skin, and come on, baby. Let that heart of gold shine. So I hope this helps. It's difficult for everyone, depending, what they're experiencing. But you always have a friend, and that's God. He's in your heart. Just go to silence. And as Louise Burleigh proved to everyone, there is no death. If you want to see your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your son, your child bad enough, you can. But he'll tell you what her son told him. I didn't want to hurt you. It was just time. He was a young man, 18. God's with him. He wrote a story. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Wish them the best. Because there is no life without death. And so, in reality, only the ones left behind deal with it. So make your response the best response it can be. And know all is well. Hope this helps. Blessings to you. And thank you. Thank you for being you.
Death opened wings of night. Wings that were shapes cut through the matter of creation into the darkness beneath, and in which distant lights glimmered. Lights that may have been stars or may have been something entirely